Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Undead Unluck episode number 23 reaction. So the previous episode, Foucault was inside Andy's memories and she goes to the day where Andy was supposed to become Victor. Victor was supposed to become Andy. And Victor ended up chasing her throughout every single page of Andy's book, trying to get Foucault out of his mind. But in the end, we get to see that the Andy portion of Andy comes in to fight against the Victor portion, and that is why they had a battle, which obviously is only possible since they're inside the memory. And there's a few things that I understood. First of all, this isn't any type of time travel going on. This is basically her going inside Andy's memories and changing the memories only. So whatever has happened in reality, it has still happened, but in Andy's memories stuff has been changed from here onwards. And yeah, in the end, they defeated Victor, and we got to see a few things. First of all, Andy got like an upgrade to his power. He can now like regenerate from any part of his body, because obviously his concept of death has changed. Also, Foucault's power has changed drastically. Now she has like a personalized unluck, where if she knows someone properly, she can make an unluck that is specific to them, which means that she can actually defeat God by using that. Obviously, she needs to know more about God and learn more about God before she does that. And yeah, in the end, Victor talks about a few things, and yeah, there you go. It's over. Like the whole thing has been done, and Foucault has come out from Andy's memories. Let's see what happens today, episode number 23. Let's begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is the preference, and let's begin. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Huh. Okay. Damn. It's like reverberating through the whole, yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Like I understood that in the previous episode. Yep. So it's like basically memories. Yeah. What? Oh, under is here. And this thing, whatever that is. Wait, what was that? Okay. Hmm. Huh. Yep. Unluck bullet. Yep. Yep. All right. What the hell? What? What is this? Is this a kid? Oh my god. Hmm. I decline. Oh my god. What? Wait, what? Who's this? Sean. Oh, this guy is. What was his name? I forgot. That guy that we tried to recruit, but. Oh boy. Their existence in the real. Oh, what? What does that mean? Oh lord. A story I won't see coming. Who's this? Peculiar. Loved how. Wait. Oh, this person found a pen. What is a G pen? Oh, wait, is that him? Is that unknown? Is this kid? The first to touch it can. Oh, so all of the memories of this planet. Okay, so is this so he becomes unknown? I'm guessing like he changes his. Whoa! What? Wait. Oh no! It's he was. Oh! Oh my God! So he became a negative at the same time. Oh, she cannot see him probably because. Oh no. Yeah. So nobody. So his whole like presence became because that guy. Yeah, that guy didn't see him. Oh no. Compulsory activation timeline. Oh no. This is such a messed up ability. Like, how? What do you even do in this situation? Oh no. Akira. Wait, I wonder, like, what? Because he knows the, yeah, yeah, the past and the present. Wait a minute. One thing I'm trying to understand here. So obviously, there's a few things that, okay, I'll talk about all of this later. Yeah, so this is unknown. One shot. How can she? How can he do that? I don't understand because nobody can. My own story. Oh, is this to you from me? Yeah. Oh, I see. That is why nobody can see him because they are negators. Andy and Foucault were able to see him because they're negators. Dare mo shiranai. Ano un. Dare mo shiran. An. Yeah. Yeah, how do you do that? Wow. As long as I don't draw anything. Oh, I see. That is why people were able to perceive him because he is using a pen name. Ah, interesting. As his mother. Hmm. Well, yeah, his wish came true. He wanted his mom to, read. And okay, interesting. But yeah, in these type of situations, so nobody. Hmm. And he was in Japan this August. Ah, oh yeah. Oh wow. Okay, wait. So can people see him now because he has taken the name unknown? Hmm. Oh, is that him? Oh, damn. Yep. Wait, who's that? It was all real. Jo- Wait, isn't Josh that girl? Wait, she's still alive in this time? So in reality, she was alive. Wait. 1 minute. Oh no, this is not Josh. Never mind. You say who's E? No, he doesn't. If you can outlive me. Uh, aggressive structure, negator powers. Hmm. Yeah. Okay, I don't understand. How can they see him now? If they couldn't see him by manga, yeah. But wait. Oh no, that's why he started integrating every like thing inside. Yeah. Yeah, that is true. But yeah, make it so that the details behind the billion. Bro, Unknown is literally the author of this show. That is crazy. Autumn. Oh yeah, this is where Foucault. So he decides to. Okay, okay. Wait, what is that? Oh, that's she's back. 2020. Oh, and he's back as well. Oh, damn. Whoa. Wait. Oh, that was unseen. Oh, oh. What? Yeah. Get over it. Hmm. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, there's still one thing I don't understand. How can they see him now? Like, first, like when Andy met him, he couldn't see him. Like I thought that the negators could see him because like something like that. I thought, but that's not the. But then how can they see him now? I don't understand that. Hmm. That's the only thing that I don't understand. Otherwise, everything else I understand in today's episode. Okay, let me go through this whole episode. Maybe I'll understand what's going on, like why that happened. Okay, wow, this like Anno Un is literally like the author of the story, by like basically the author decided to put himself in the story. Like he knows everything that's going to happen. He's like writing the story. He knows what's going to happen from here onwards. Like as he says, the details behind Billy's betrayal, all that stuff he knows. And which literally means he is the author. Like he knows. He has like every single information, and that kind of puts him in the position of the author who literally knows everything. And okay, is that it? No. Bucks. Is that why his name is Bugs Bunny? Okay. That smacked him away. Yeah. Rip. A man to steal it. What the hell? What? Oh, unlock. Yeah, but no, don't think. Yeah. Control of nation. I want arc. Oh, each has their own goal. I see, that makes sense. Well, they even themselves don't know anything about arc except Jews. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he knows. Oh, her life was repairable. Saving her. Oh my god. All right. Okay. Okay, that is it. So that was today's episode. Now, a lot of questions I kind of have still. First of all, I still don't understand what happened there. First of all, nobody was able to see or perceive um, unknown after he got his power, his negator power. But then he obviously, like, I can understand he decided to become like an author who, as we got to hear from that lady, if you remember in one of the previous episode, she said something like, oh, unknown, nobody has even seen him, and we don't even know what type of person unknown is, like stuff like that. So like nobody has seen him, which makes sense because because of his ability. But I don't understand one thing. I thought that Andy and everyone else, since they're negators as well, they might be able to see him. But like when he goes and meets Andy, or tries to meet Andy, he just goes through Andy. Like Andy didn't even perceive him. How can Andy, Foucault, everyone perceive him now? I don't understand that. Like the only difference I can say from that scene and this scene is that she, like, like Anna Un looks different. That's it. Anna Un had like a different type of like appearance, but back then, but now he is like so different. His whole appearance is completely changed. Like now he's like this like yellow haired person, long hair, yellow hair. Yeah, that's the difference that I can only see. Other than that, I don't see any difference. Like, how can people see him now? I don't understand that. Oh, or is it because since he has taken. Oh, I think that's. Okay, I think I understand what happened. I might be wrong, but I think, like, this is the thing. Since there was a section in this episode where he said that everyone can read my manga because I've taken a pen name that is unknown, because technically that means nobody knows that it is his manga. Everyone thinks it is someone called Unknown's manga who they haven't even seen. So that is why people can perceive that manga. So if he made his own name as the name of the author and like published the manga, probably nobody even would be able to see the manga because it is something that he made. But since he took Unknown's name, which is someone who nobody knows, he was able to use that to make the manga and publish it. I think he applied the same theory here. That is why he changed his appearance. So I think what he did was he changed his appearance, maybe like dyed his hair and something, and since he dyed his hair and everything, now technically looking at him, nobody would be able to say that, oh, this is that guy. What was his original name? Akira or something, I forgot. Nobody would be able to say that, oh, that's him. This is a completely new person. And since this is a completely new person, maybe that is why like now people can see him or something like that, or at least Andy and Foucault can see him. Yeah, it's probably that, because I think his negator power is something to do with his own like people perceiving him or anything related to him. So his name was, what was his name? Akira? Wait a minute, I need to check his name out, otherwise it'll be kind of confusing for me to continue speaking about this. Wait a minute. Okay, so in the flashback, I think they tell his name. Where is it? Akira Kuno. Okay, that's his name. So Akira. His original name is Akira Kuno, while his pen name is Unknown. So this is what I think his power is. His power is nothing to do with like people seeing him or something like that. It has something to do with him as a person or people perceiving him. So the person called Akira Kuno, the negator power that he got, had something to do with other people not being able to perceive Akira Kuno and anything related to him. Like, for example, like nobody can see him, he'll just pass through people, and if he makes something like a manga or something using his own name, nobody will probably be able to see the manga either or read the manga either. That is probably what the thing is. Anything related to him or he himself cannot be perceived by other people. So that is why he found a loophole, which was making a manga, not giving out his original identity, taking a pen name. That is why since now everyone is saying that, oh, this is a manga written by this person called Anno Un. It has nothing to do with Akira Kuno. That's why people can read the manga, I think. Similar with and the whole situation with Andy as well. I think when he went to meet Andy, he was in his original self, like he was Akira Kuno. That's why when he tried to go and touch Andy, he just like went through him. He couldn't do it. So he decided to probably, like, I don't know, like change his whole appearance, like dyed his hair, like colored his hair, and like took a whole different personality, changed his dress and everything. And now he calls himself obviously Anno Un. So people, whoever sees him as Anno Un. Nobody knows that he's Akira Kuno. That is why now Andy and Fuko can see him and everyone else can see him. Is that why? I don't know. That's the only viable explanation I can think of behind the reason why people can, well, not people, but at least Andy and Fuko and everyone, like, Rip and all of them, why, at least this is the only explanation that I can come up with, why they can see him now, even though he literally tried to go and meet Andy, but he couldn't before. I don't know, I might be wrong, but I feel like this is the only explanation that I can come up with. Right, so for now I'll think that is the case, even though it might be wrong. Maybe something else is happening that I don't understand. Either way, that's what happened. Now, like, yeah, that is the only thing that I wasn't able to understand from this episode. Everything else I think I understood more or less. So basically what is happening is Anno Un or Akira Kuno came across the G-liner one day, and as soon as he touched the artifact, everything like flashed in front of his eyes, and he realized like, oh, this is going on, like the past, present, and the future, this is what's happening. And he got fascinated by that, and he decided to make like manga, like, on it. But at the same time, when he touched the G-liner, he also gained, or he also like awakened to his negator power. Obviously the G-liner has nothing to do with his negator power. As it randomly happens, sometimes people just awaken to it. That kind of thing happened, and his negator power was one of the most not messed up, I would say, in that sense, but it's one of the most inconvenient and the most, like, messed up one at the end of the day, if you think about it, because nobody will be able to see him or perceive him, like, that kind of thing. So at that young age, he didn't know what to do. His mom, like, was there, but obviously he couldn't talk to her, and it's just a complete mess. It was just a complete mess. So yeah, like, that's what happened. So he decided to start making manga, but first started with From Me to You, that story. Like, he wanted to make his own, like, name in the manga, industry, and like he made that story. And after he made that story, he took the name Anno Un. That is probably why people were able to read his manga and perceive his works. And then all of this happened, and then he decided to, like, and he probably, like, just completely pushed the whole Andy Fuko thing aside. But then one day he suddenly thought that, wait a minute, there was back when I was a kid, I do remember I got to see all of this. I do wonder if that is actually happening in reality. And if it is happening, that would mean Andy is now in Japan, in this place. He's come here to learn EI techniques. So this is the only chance I might get to see him for a long time. So he decides to go and see, and because at that time, he was probably a bit skeptical. He didn't know whether all the stuff that he saw, was it real, was it actually happening, like, he wasn't really sure. He needed to check and make sure whether it was actually happening. So he goes there and sees that Andy is there, and then he realizes, like, yeah, it's actually happening. So this is going to happen in the future. And he decided to do something about it, and he was like, you know what, I have to do something, because I'm the only one that knows. And he knows, like, that Fuko is going to die on that day. That's the time when everything, like, changes, and he needs to change that happening. And to do that, he decided to start adding little hints in his, like, story. Yeah. Here we go. I'll be sure to make the change. And to do so, I'll collect everything I need. And so this time I'll be the one to save them. Okay, here's one thing that I don't understand. What is this? He goes to like a lake and finds like a ball, like a glowing ball. What is that? I feel like I should know about this, but I don't understand. I cannot remember. Maybe this is like some kind of a, like that thing connects to some other scene in the past that I cannot remember. Anyways, I'm not really sure what that was. Either way, we see him doing all of this finally to reach today, where Unseen was the one who was going to slit you like Foucault's throat. But since they were able to gain the power, Foucault was able to go back in memories and like become stronger. So was Andy. This time, like they were able to alter the future, and that's why Foucault didn't die. But as he says, like, this is going to be a story from here onwards that I won't be able to be a part of, like, because I don't see myself in the future that I've seen. Yeah, so there you go. Right, and yeah, that was this episode. Crazy episode, we got to see Unknown's story. Not only that, we understood that like Unknown is literally like the author. Like, he knows everything that is going to happen. He knows the reasoning, the backstory, the everything behind all the characters. That is why he, like, yeah, he just and here's another thing. I feel like a lot of people will probably ask this question that, oh, if he knows about it, why doesn't he tell it to them? Like, why doesn't he tell it to Andy and Foucault? And something like that will definitely help them out in a better way, wouldn't it? Like, he is technically trying to help them, so why not just tell them like, oh, you know what, this is going to happen. So make sure to do this and this, or something like that. Why couldn't he say that to them? Like, now I would say that would not be a good idea, in my opinion. The reason behind it is that I feel like as soon as he tells all of this to Andy and Foucault, number one, that he already mentioned, like, if he makes it too obvious, people will stop growing. They won't grow themselves. If you just give the answers to a kid who is going to appear in a test, yeah, he can probably ace the test, but he'll learn nothing. In the future, you need to keep spoon feeding him so that he can continue acing all the tests. If you spoon feed him once and twice and decide not to spoon feed him the third time he will do he won't be able to do anything. He'll completely fail. But if you don't spoon feed him and just help him out with a few things, then he can grow. Like there's two things. There's like, not helping someone out at all obviously makes someone's growth or progress, slows it down. That's why people who are learning stuff, they try to like ask advice from people who know more about it. Obviously they're not spoon feeding you, but at the same time they're like they're also like kind of helping you. They're not like giving you the answers. They're just helping you out, which is going to boost your like learning capabilities, and you'll be able to understand more better and do better. He's kind of doing that. He's like a teacher. As a teacher, he can just answer all the question on their behalf, but he's not doing that because he knows that will be detrimental. That will harm them in the longer run. So he's just helping them, telling them, giving them hints to reach the original, to reach the goal. And obviously that is boosting their ability to, and their proficiency and efficiency to reach that goal, helping them out in the longer run. So that is number one reason I think he's not doing it. There's another reason that I think he's not doing it, because if he tells everything that is going to happen to Andy and Foucault, now that they know what is going to happen, the future will change. And you understand what's going to happen if the future changes. It doesn't matter even if they know what's going to happen in the future. Their own actions will change, which will make bigger changes in their future. So they might think that they know what's going to happen, but since they themselves are taking different decisions, It's going to cause a butterfly effect, completely changing the future in a way that nobody will be able to perceive. And something like that, I think that is another reason. Like, you cannot like tell them that, oh, this is going to happen. Like, number one, like I said, they're just going to stop trying. And number two, which will make them not grow. And number two, since now they know what's going to happen in the future, there's a lot of ways, a lot of like, like this whole thing can affect the future. And the future that unknown will tell them will not be the future anymore, since they know about it. Their actions will cause the future to change in a drastic way, which nobody even knows like how to counteract. And like I said, since if unknown is feeding them everything, then they'll also be weaker than they originally are. They'll not grow. So it's going to be a disaster if unknown decide to tell everyone. So I think that is the main reason why unknown, instead of just telling them the answers, he's actually trying to train them, which is a way better idea. I feel like a lot of people might actually think about it, like, because it's an obvious like thing that will come into people's mind. They'll be like, yeah, like, why, if he really wants to help them, why doesn't he tell them that, oh, this is going to happen? No, I feel like it's going to be a very bad idea if he does that. It's going to make everything go in the wrong direction, and he doesn't want that, obviously. So something like that, I feel like. Either way, yeah, so there you go, we get to know like more about unknown. And oh, another thing, his name unknown, when he thinks about his pen name, where is it? He comes up with the name, okay, Daremo Shiranai, unknown, Daremo Shiranai, Daremo Shiran, oh, Shiran, okay, un, Daremo Shiran, where does un come from? Daremo Shiran Nai. I can understand an, I don't understand where the un comes from. Oh, it's probably like kanji or something, like how the different kanjis have like different, like I cannot read Japanese, so I cannot say. I can only think of it from the sound. But yeah, the sound doesn't make sense. I can understand an because Daremo Shiran Nai. But where does un come from? Daremu Shiran. No, it's probably something to do with kanji, I think, yeah. Okay, so right. And that is why, like, he was able to, and he himself was surprised when he saw that his thing won. He was like, wait a minute, people can read this? And then he realized, because he took the pen name, that is probably why he can, like, he can, people were able to read his story. Here we go. As unknown, as long as I don't draw anything tying them to Akira, there you go. Yeah, so it is something to do with perception. Like, since he has taken a different name completely, people can read it, since it has nothing to do with him. Nobody can tie anything to him. I think that is exactly what he used in the end, so that he can meet Andy, Fuko, and everyone. That is why he changed his appearance, because his new appearance, nobody knows that it's Akira. And that's why nobody can draw any connection with his appearance to Akira's appearance. So for everyone, this is unknown. That's why they can see him, probably. I don't know. Like I said, it's just what I thought of. I might be completely wrong. Right. Okay, and there you go. And that is why it also, excuse me, makes sense why unknown says that Fuko and Andy were the ones who saved me, or they are the reason for my existence, which it kind of makes, at first I was like, what does that mean? But it kind of makes sense now, like why he said that, because like, since he knew about them and he saw those visions, that is why he got interested in drawing manga, and interested in, like, drawing their story and, like, actually becoming a proper mangaka. That is why. And since he that is and since Andy and Foucault were the ones who ignited that passion within him, he became unknown, and him becoming unknown was the reason, and that is why he says that they're the ones who are the reason for my existence. Nobody would realize that he even exists if those two weren't there, which is true, because whatever happens, he would have gotten that negator ability sooner or later. you know if he and when he would get the negator ability, if he didn't get the G liner and didn't get to know more about Andy and Foucault, he probably wouldn't have gained this passion to draw manga. Ultimately, he would just rot away. Like, he would just be like that forever, and nobody would even get to know him. So in a way, he is kind of correct. It was like Andy and Foucault, they were the reason why he exists now. Because if they weren't there, he wouldn't even become a mangaka, probably. And yeah, and he would just be this person, this Akira Kuno. He would just be Akira Kuno. He wouldn't be able to become unknown, which would make his whole existence completely just, nobody would be able to perceive him. In that sense, I can understand why. And I guess if you can kind of, if you drag it even back, like even more backwards, you can say that G Liner was the main reason why he was able to exist. If you even draw it like like a step further, no, you know what? Nah, yeah, you can say that, because technically, if he didn't get G Liner, he wouldn't get to know about Akira, about unknown. God damn it, he wouldn't be able to get to know about Andy and Foucault if he didn't get the G Liner. So if you think about it like that, you can even draw it further back and say that, oh, G Liner was also the reason why he exists. Because if he didn't get G Liner, he wouldn't get to know about Andy and Foucault, and he would still be Akira. He would never be able to become unknown, or and that is why he feels so much like he has this like wish to help Andy and Foucault. That is why. And since he knows about everything that is going to happen, and he knows that he cannot literally tell them or give them the answers, he cannot spoon feed them, he decides to just help them and push their back to help them out. And it worked. This day, on today, Foucault was supposed to die. Unseen would have killed her, but like Andy comes back, and Andy was able to defeat Unseen, and that's why everything is okay now. Right. So there you go. Great episode, as always. And yeah. Oh, another thing, I need to check this. There was a certain scene where they showed us like different of all the different characters. Starting from Jewish to everyone else. Like, he literally sees every single person's story, and this show kind of briefly showed us all of that. I'm trying to find that part. Where they literally show like a montage of every single character, what they went through in their life. I'm trying to find that part. Let me see if I can find that part out, because I feel like I need to observe that part. I'll be able to understand a little bit more about what the hell is going on. Yeah, I think here it is. I think I found it. Yeah. Okay, when like when Andy like leaves that lady who was teaching him EI techniques, and when he's like, oh, like, if you can outlive me, I'll come with you, and he's like, oh yeah, the negators are suffering. So okay, so here we go. The first scene that we see here is Shen. That's Shen, isn't it? Like, extending his hand down a cliff, and there's someone down there. I don't have any clue what this is, but this is a hint. Then we see Billy in front of a gravestone. So someone died, and he's in the rain. So that is probably something to do with Billy's past. Then we get to see Top. Oh, Top has this friend who has hurt his legs. Is in a wheelchair. Ah. Interesting. So maybe that is why he got this power where, where he can run so fast. And then we have Nico in, oh, what is this? I don't understand. He's kind of like holding his head like this. I have no clue what this scene is trying to tell us. But he's suffering, it's pretty obvious. Okay. Then we have Jewis dead in front of Victor. And Victor is like bleeding through his, in front of God. And God is literally destroying the world. Yeah, okay, no, you know what? I understood nothing. The only thing I understood is like that kind of, like made a little bit sense is that Toph had a friend probably who got injured and his leg. That's the only thing. Other than that, everything else, it still doesn't make much sense. But I'm sure we'll understand little by little when we get the context behind everything. Yeah. And there you go. That was that. Oh, another thing we understood here. Okay, this part in the end, we get to know that when Unknown tells Rip that, oh, what you're doing, you two, like, they're trying to find Ark, and he's like, oh, you two won't be able to you two won't be able to like board Ark, you and Latla, you won't be able to do it. And if you keep going in this direction, Latla will die. So here we get to know a little bit more about Rip and what he's trying to do. So Rip says that, okay, where is that? You should give up on the idea. Okay, where is it? Yeah, and we see that Rip says something like her life was repairable. That is why I'm going to use the Ark to redo things. That is why he's trying to use the Ark. For her, I'm willing to risk it all. Both legs, the rest of my lifespan, even the lives of others. Okay. And then Latla also comes in. And Latla says, I'm the same way. Don't try to hog all the spotlight for yourself, Rip. Oh, no, wait. I kind of misunderstood here. I thought he was talking about Latla. No, he's talking about someone else. Wait a minute. Let me go back. Oh, I feel like I misunderstood that part because exactly after Unknown says that is not all, you end up losing Latla as well. I think that is why I thought that Rip was talking about Latla. No, both Rip and Latla are talking about someone else. However, Unknown says that if you keep going in this direction, you lose Latla as well, which means there's someone else other than Latla who both Latla and Rip lost, and both of them are trying to bring her back, and that is why they need the Ark, and that is why Unknown said that, oh, if you keep going in this direction, not you lost the other person, you're going to lose Latla as well. Yeah, and this part which we see, like the rain is falling on, I'm guessing this is like a gravestone. Her life was repairable. Yeah, I thought he was talking about Latla. No, never mind, he's talking about someone else, another girl he's talking about. And that's why I'm going to use Ark to redo things. For her, I'm willing to risk everything. And yeah, and that is when Latla also says that, oh, I'm also willing to do that, If it means saving her, then I'll do whatever it takes to. There you go. So both of them are talking about someone else, a third person, who's a lady. And then this bunny comes up. I think his name is Bugs. Is that why his name is Bugs? I'm not even sure if that's a girl or a boy. Is that why his or her name is Bugs? Because Bugs Bunny? Is that why? I don't know. No, not Bugs. His name is Bugs, isn't it? Wait a minute. Where is that part where we get to meet this bunny? Yeah, when the bunny tries to take the gun away and Fuko smacks the bunny out. um okay. Rip. Wait. Where's this? When do they? Okay, here we go. This is where early for bunny. First Sean, now this. Okay, I cannot find the name. Where is the name? Box. Here we go. Oh, finally I was able to find the name. Box. It's not Bugs, but I thought like, wait, is his name Bugs because it's Bugs Bunny? No, it Bucks, something else completely. Okay, and there you go. That was today's episode. Now let me just go through this episode scene by scene in case I missed something. First scene was unknown, like saying that, oh, like now Fuko is experiencing a completely different story, and even if they're not changing their past, at least they're changing their memories of the past, which will help them grow as human beings. And that's why he's like, if you try to do anything, I'm going to defeat you as well. And you see Rip is just standing there. And then we have this guy, unseen, was just standing there. And yeah, this part really confused me first. I was like, what the hell, who is that? That invisible person. But yeah, that is unseen. And yeah, next we get to see Unknown fighting to protect Fuko and Andy. And yeah, and then we go to Unknown's backstory. In Unknown's backstory, his name is Akira Kuno, raised by a single mother, and he loved talking, like drawing manga, and not manga in a sense, but drawing like pictures, and like loved talking to his mother about that. Yeah, he created characters, plotted stories, drew the pictures, and told his mother, and his mother loved it. That is why he also loved doing it. And one day he found out the G liner, and he got to know everything, past, present, future, all the loops, everything flooded into his head. And he's like, damn, this is such a cool story. I should probably write it down and draw it down. And he realized that people are not perceiving. At first he didn't understand that. He just went through a person and he was like, oh, I'm sorry. But then he sees the person just leaves and he's like, okay, that's weird. And then he goes back. Still, he doesn't understand what's happening. So he starts drawing. He's like, oh, when mom will come back, I'll tell mom about this crazy story. And, she'll like it. I wonder which person, like which character she'll like the best. Maybe Rip or something, And then his mom comes back. He tries to show the pictures, but his mom couldn't perceive him. And yeah, exactly at the same time when he touched the G liner and was taking it back, exactly at the same time, like because of some weird type of weird luck and such a cruel luck that he was the one who got awoken to this type of a negator ability, which is nobody will be able to perceive him or anything related to him. So anything related to him can also not be perceived. And yeah, and here's one thing that I was kind of getting confused. I was like, wait a minute, he's going through different people. How can he touch the pen and all the other stuff? The pen, the paper. How can he touch all of that? Shouldn't he go through all of that as well? No, like I said, it probably depends on how people can perceive him. So human beings who has a way of perceiving stuff, like when I look at you, I'll be like, oh, that's you. When people look at Akira, they will be able to recognize him and say, oh, this is Akira. So only human beings, it affects them, this negator ability. That is why he goes through human beings, because they can perceive things. Like non-living things like pen, paper, since they do not have any perception abilities, they're not affected by it. That is why he can touch them. But human beings, he just goes through them. I think that's what's happening, and that is why when he changed the name of his own name and decided to take a completely different person, like an identity of unknown, people can read his manga, and also, like, even though he completely went through Andy first, later probably he like dyed his hair and everything. That is why now Andy and Fuko can see him probably. I don't know, something like that. I feel like either way, he like got this ability, and obviously his mom cannot find him. His mom is like, oh, where's my kid, like calls the police and everything, and he's just crying behind her, not being able to come in contact with her. And it's such a like, all these abilities are just, I don't know what to say, man. Like, these are some really, like, first it was obviously Fuko and her parents. Then it was what was his name? Chikara, yeah, Chikara. Like, literally seeing his parents die in front of him, and now this, where he wants to talk to his mom, but he cannot. He's just there. No, and from such a young age. Tatiana as well. I forgot about her. Her completely destroying the whole place and being the reason for her parents' death, all that stuff. Yeah. But when he hears his mom say that, oh, please let him, whatever he is, please let him continue to draw the manga he loves so much, he decides to pick up the pen and he decides to start writing the story. And he thinks about Andy and Fuko, and he remembers that, yeah, they never ran away from their abilities. They fought to the very end. So I will continue to do so as well for my mother, who believes in me, and for here we go. So that one day everyone can learn of the actions of the people who taught me this bravery. Andy, Fuko, and everyone else. Yeah. And that's why he says that, Andy and Fuko, they're the reasons why I exist, because of that. They're the ones who gave me this courage, this thing to keep continuing. And he says, I practice a lot of one shot to submit. I debated using Andy and the gang style, but at first I wanted to try like writing my own story. So he wrote To Me From You, that story. It was a one shot, obviously, and he wrote a new pen name, Unknown, and he probably expected nobody to read it because he wrote it. That is why nobody would be able to perceive it. But then he realized that since he took the name Unknown, yeah, his manga could be read, and he's like, okay, so like, that's great. And the manga, everyone were like, oh, like, your manga's great, you want this amount of money, and we want to serialize it. And like, from here onwards, I'm just guessing, and obviously he never showed his face to anyone, because as soon as people try to understand who he is or realize who he is, they won't be able to read his manga because people will perceive him as Akira. So he decided to keep himself hidden, only wrote the manga, probably took like phone calls, and that's it. And yeah, and then he kept doing all of this, and one day his mother in the hospital was reading about it and was smiling. Okay, now this part kind of threw me off. I saw him in the publication office, in the manga publication office, drawing, and I was like, wait a minute, can people see him? I think people cannot see him. He just went in the manga office and just started drawing over there. Correct me if I'm wrong, because obviously nobody can see him. Yeah, so it kind of threw me off because I was like, what is he doing here? But yeah, he probably came here just to, yeah, just because, like, why not, that kind of reason. But yeah, from here onwards, you can see that he tries to think about the past, and he thinks that if Andy and Fuko, that whole story is correct or not, whether that is actually happening, and since he knows about it, whether he should try to help. So he goes and tries to meet Andy, like doing the AI techniques, and he realizes that Andy cannot see him and perceive him because obviously he's still Akira. And he meets, okay, this part kind of confused me for a moment. I thought that was Josh, that's the girl who was teaching them. Like, but no, Andy was talking about Josh. Like, this girl, this like master, her name is Yusai. Yeah, okay. Gecko moonlight style quick draw slash waxing moon. Yeah, right. And here we go. Here's a Japanese quick draw, Josh. Yeah, this sentence really threw me off. For a moment I thought he was talking to Josh, and I was like, wait, Josh is alive in this? Like, wait, what happened? I was thinking, but no, this is someone else. Her name is Yusai, and Yusai was like, oh, you stay here, like, we can get married and stuff. She was saying, but and he's like, okay, if you can outlive me. I love how when he said okay, Unknown was like, what the hell, you already have Foucault? And because obviously he knows like Andy will meet Foucault and all that, but Andy still hasn't met Foucault. Either way, he at first he was like that, and then he realized that, yeah, like all these people are suffering, you know, and he thinks about it, and then he's like, yeah, you know what, I have to do something. All these people are all suffering, and I know about everything, so I can do something. Maybe I'll be able to change the future. But like he says, he cannot make it too obvious, because it'll like halt their progress, and it'll also hamper a lot of other things. Like the future will change in very like unbelievable ways if he tells about this to people, because of butterfly effect and such. So he decides to like kind of give like little hints in the story, and starts preparing for that one day, the this day today, where Foucault's supposed to die. He starts preparing for this day where he has to change this outcome, and to do that he starts preparing, and he goes like starts doing a lot of preparations, like learns about a lot of things, and finally today, now the X day, December 5th, 2020, when Foucault's supposed to die, he has made them go into the memory, relive their memory, and grow as people. And now, finally, yeah, like Unseen was just there behind Foucault going to kill her. Yeah, and Unseen was like, I'll go for the throat. As soon as he says that, Andy comes back, and Andy uses the waxing moon. Yeah. No, not waxing moon. Sorry, that waxing moon is the other ability. Deadline, that's the name. And yeah, completely cuts off the room. And Unseen was just there behind Foucault, so along with the room, Unseen is also just cut into two halves. And there you go, he prevented Foucault's death over here. If Foucault died here, things would have changed in a drastic way. Like, they wouldn't be able to win at all. And that's why by doing this, Akira was able to save the future and change the future in a drastic way. Here we go. In the future, Akira Kurosawa, while battling Autumn with Unknown, was absent. Unseen's invisible deadly blade had killed Foucault Izumo. So that is why he was able to realize. He was like, I cannot be seen over there, and Foucault dies. So that means if I interfere in this, and somehow I'm able to make them grow as humans and people, they will be able to prevent this from happening. Now again, like I said, a lot of people might come up with this, have this question. They might ask like, oh, if he knew that like Foucault will die in Unseen's hands, couldn't he just tell that to Foucault and Andy, and they will be more cautious about it? No, again, because if he tells that, that would mean he's altering the future, and if he alters the future because of butterfly effect, things would change in a drastic way. Yeah, Foucault might not die today, but she will die eventually. It is going to happen. So what he needed to do is make them grow so that they themselves can take care of the situation. If he as a bystander decided to interfere in the whole situation and give them the whole answer, they might be saved today, but in the future the same thing could happen and they'll die then. To prevent that, he was thinking of the long, the long time outcome. That is why he decided to do this. And that's why he decided not to literally give them the answer, but actually make them learn and understand it and overcome the situation on their own. And that is why he did that. That's why he decided not to give the answer directly. At least that's what I think, because I've seen it, like, like this, like a lot of situations, especially in time traveling stories and stuff. Like if someone tries to change the future in a very like tries to get involved in the future and change it, you know it changes. But at the end of the day, if something, you've prevented something, it happens eventually in the future. Something like that, like it's basically like fate. If you just try to alter fate by like interfering this much, yeah, you might be able to temporarily alter fate, but if it's supposed to be fate, it is going to happen. So he decides not to like give them the answer directly, but just make them grow and make them take care of the situation themselves. And obviously now they're stronger than before, and were able to defeat Unseen or something like that. I don't know, that's what I think, at least. Either way, yeah. And he sees that Unseen is just there, cut in two half. And yeah, and Andy and Fuko comes out, and you can see Fuko's almost going to throw up, but Andy's like, come on Fuko, we went through the whole journey inside my head. And yeah, she literally spent like years with him, fighting people. Like you saw those like montages that we saw with Andy. She fought a lot of people and everything. So yeah, there you go. And Akira's like, this is it. From here onwards, it'll be probably a story that I myself don't know, because I'm not there in the future. And yeah, and then after that, after the after credits, we get to see this guy, this Bax or whatever his name is. He takes the gun from Fuko, or the artifact. That's the artifact, isn't it? Yeah. And Fuko gives a little unluck by smacking him. He falls down in the hole. And here's where Akira also tells Akira or Un tells Rip that what you're trying to do, obviously I understand everything, but the direction that you're going, you're just going to end up losing Latla. But yeah, Rip and Latla, both of them are like, no, we need the arc for ourselves, and they're trying to save someone or do something about someone who both of them lost, and that's why they're doing all of this, probably, as we saw and as we understand from their conversation. And for that, they need to go and fight against Autumn and capture Autumn, because obviously that is the goal, like capturing Autumn. So they both are trying to do that now. So let's see, the final episode will be next week. So I think so, yeah, this is episode 23, isn't it? Yeah, next week will be the final episode, so let's see how this ends. So yeah, that was today's episode. Great episode, and a lot of more background story, and we understand the situation so much more better. Who like Unknown is, what's going on, and all that stuff we were able to understand in today's episode. But a few new questions pops up today. For example, what's up with Rip? Why are they trying to get the arc? And who are they trying to save? Also, another thing is like different Rip members have different goals, and they kind of cooperate only when their goals coincide. Like something like that. And yeah, and their goal is to get their hands on the arc. So yeah, let's see. And you know what, this kind of makes me think that since their goals are different and they only cooperate when their goals coincide, we might be able to actually recruit a few of these people. If their goal starts coinciding with us, we might be able to get Rip and Latla like in our team, something like that. Yeah. Anyways, so that is it. That's it. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or if you haven't subscribed, comment down below. Anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, I'll check them out. So that is it. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next week with the final episode of Undead Unluck Season 1. Oh boy, like I'm gonna miss this show. This show has been a blast from the very beginning. I'll talk about it in detail next week, how much I loved it. And I'll probably make like a mini review video as well, since like this show is like definitely one of my most favorite shows in a couple of years. Like, I'm not joking. I'm not just saying this just because, this show has such a unique story, and I don't know why I have seen people talk about this show, but I don't know why is it not more popular. It's not the conventional shonen type show, but I really love these type of shows. A lot of people probably doesn't like get the charm behind these type of shows. Like people who, like, like most of the people probably just wants battles and stuff. But I, at least, really love these type of shows. And this has been one of the most unique experiences I've ever gotten in a show in itself. It has so many things. Yeah, I'll, like I said, I'll make a separate video after episode 24. Like I'll make a separate video talking about this show in itself. And yeah, I'll talk about everything there. So yeah, see you guys in the next video. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.